All right. Can my players please speak up for a moment just to make sure that the audio is working?
No.
Hello.
There we go. Okay. You guys are being picked
How
up.
dare you ask things to the Grammy?
Hi,
How dare you.
everybody. We're back. Today is going to be a relatively low stakes session, which is fortunate. Why do I have stakes? But also because Kari is currently not able to be here. We're not sure exactly what is the case. Assumption is dead to the world.
I was really looking for that filet mignon, but
Filet mignon.
no.
His name is Karya. He's dead.
He's dead.
No.
He's fucking dead.
Not again.
Not again.
Next time I will succeed.
No. I'll strangle you. I'll do it.
Come over here and try.
Dodge the dice to get a crit.
I mean,
Oh,
I
boy.
did it before. Worked before. People have been strangled by Siren in the
Mhm.
campaign.
You're right. Possessed by an evil entity. Really only made her do what she originally wanted to do. Note, Siren's line.
I rolled a strangle Siren. I don't know how I don't know how I do it, but I do it.
Yeah.
Shake, shake, shake.
Speaking of not knowing how to do it, last we
Damn.
left off, Karya, who I guess now is so blissed out that he's just kind of, it's not unlike when he was lazing around in the fountain tub in the tower. He's probably just sort of steamed out and like flopped on, I'm gonna say probably like a bench somewhere with a towel wrapped around himself. Fire as well, with two little cucumber slices on his eyes, as he's basking in the warmth after a sauna. And Siren and Flick, who have just gotten done being pampered.
Pampered, you say?
Yes. Let's see. Hollow Hollow was harassing a war veteran over by the magical festival.
I was not harassing. We had a
I'm very
mage.
sorry. I should also say, you wouldn't when the previous scare of the wizard narrowly casting like a twinned lightning bolt came up, and you asked the question of whether or not that was safe or something. I believe that was a question that was posed at least. I should make mention that the wizard has no focus and no spell component pouch on him, and that's probably deliberate.
Oh no. Oh, you can do this shit at will. Cool.
No, as in he doesn't have one, so he can't do that by accident.
Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're good. We're good.
It's like being a veteran reaching for the gun and the gun not being there.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chaiko and Vark, we're having an interesting look into Chaiko's heritage. What originally was meant to be a delve into Felgor's past ended up being delving a little bit further down the family tree. One that was, to continue the analogy, one that Chaiko's branch was spliced onto.
Yep. Sure is fun.
Spoons.
Don't just spoons me.
Why not?
I'm so mad at you.
I understand if you just don't have the spoons to deal with it right now.
I can't with the spoons. I love how the first thing it brought up for her backstory is your father's dead. And the next thing is talking spoons.
Talking
It's like,
spoons.
Yeah.
I love it.
Magic is fucking silly, and I will stand
Yeah.
by that. Magic is weird, arcane, and mystical, and strange. It's also just goofy.
Yeah.
So yeah, who wants to tackle their weird today? I
I
asked
mean, I
this.
don't really have anything.
Well,
Even looking at like spell components, I don't really have anything I need. I've got everything.
Cool.
So
then, in the case of Siren, and potentially by extension, and Karia. You guys have the entire day ahead of you. Is there anything you'd like to do while you're in
Yay.
Rosina, or are you just going to wait until you leave?
I think Siren is just gonna be be around to help if someone wants to make potions or if someone needs like divine advice with spells or anything like that.
Okay.
She's just around to help.
All right. What about you, Flick?
I would like to declare jihad. No, I'm kidding.
You'd like to what?
Ooh,
You would like to. You would
really,
like to.
I really got that joke cut out. So let's move on.
Anyways,
I see.
Thin ice,
I
my
will
friend.
say.
Thin ice.
you see, as much as Flick would love to find another Fight Club again, at the same time, knowing what happened last time, he's not sure if he's going to get his shit kicked in again by a Santiago, or if not him, then someone else.
You got good chance of running either into like cases of the first guy you went against, where you hit him with one stroke of the blade and he died instantly, or if you might run into another Santiago who will trance your shit. Though to be fair, you're pretty sure you were pretty close in terms of like how close you were to beating one another. For you, it may have been a case of being distracted, just an off day, out of character. You were just rolling fairly poorly. Had nothing to do with Flick's capabilities.
Oh yeah.
That was an unfortunate day.
I think Flick and Santiago are probably evenly matched, if I were to guess.
I love how you say he was rolling very poorly, but he was also still rolling a fuck ton of crits that session.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I think the first guy he went up to, went
it's
up
immediate
against
crit.
in the fight. Yeah, it was just insta crit.
Mhm.
It was no, I think we're talking about it was literally like that one scene in Indiana Jones where he just quick draws the dude with the sword.
Yeah.
It just immediately exsanguinated the map.
They go up to fight, and the other guy's dead.
15 seconds.
15 seconds in, and he's
But anyways, yeah. Flick is looking to. Well, he's already relaxed a bit in the spa, so he's looking to maybe keep himself relaxed. Maintain that easy momentum. But at the same time, he's feeling slightly devious. So
oh no,
he's feeling kind of lucky today.
no.
Oh.
Gambling.
He's going to look for some gambling.
Oh, okay. You feel lucky, punk.
Effort.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling lucky. I am in fact a punk.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Rosino is not a city that is low on opportunities to gamble your money.
In fact, it has quite too many ways to do it.
Yes.
That being said, Flick is also hoping not to spend all of it.
Well, then the situation, as you part ways from Siren and Karia, let's just say Karia and Vair are going to spend the rest of the day lounging about in the inn room. They can keep up the lazy mood. For you, it becomes an issue of finding a gambling house, and then how much gold are you willing to take with you? How much is your budget?
Let's see. Let me check my sheet real quick to look it over. Let's see. How much gold was the spa again?
For all three
Per
of you,
person.
or all four of you, was 200 gold.
200. Okay, so I think I'm at 5,700. So let's say half of that. So let's say, what would that be? Actually, no, not half. I want to say a quarter of it, perhaps. So do the calculations real quick. That'd be 1425. So actually, yeah. Let's say about 1500. Let's break even a little bit.
Making 1,500 gold with you, leaving the rest behind. A prudent decision. You don't want to give yourself the temptation to take all your money with you and potentially spend it all.
Flick might be sometimes a reckless man, but he knows when to not be reckless.
There's
Or
reckless-
does-
Organized chaos.
You can temper your recklessness.
Yes.
Which is perfectly fine. So, Flick is off heading for a gambling house. Right, and Mallory got tossed out of a bathing house of his own. But not before laying the seeds for some rumors. Whether deliberately or not.
Yes, some seeds of some rumors.
Mm-hmm.
Rumors.
Of an Emily Charmaine come looking to snoop around the noble district and partake in a bath, both not of her social class and not in her means. Let's say she is a poor foreigner.
The most disgusting kind.
Clearly.
Yes.
Sorry, you're a bit quiet on my end.
How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Let me just turn my gain up. How about now?
Oh, that's good.
And now.
This is good.
Okay. Hopefully that will suffice. So, Mallory, you find yourself in the Noble District, having just parted ways with a Miss Bambina. What is your plan for the rest of the day?
Simply sightsee.
Okay. And Chaiko
Oh
and
my God.
Lark. My deduction, at least for Chaiko, is that she intends to head to the Rosaino Institute of Magic.
I am.
What about Lark?
Is Vart coming with?
Question, I don't want to say Vlog has nothing to do, but he has no urgent matters at the moment. So, since
Are
it-
Mark
since
and
it-
Chaiko gonna go on their first date?
since he's already assisted Chaiko with her previous matter, and this is just a follow-up basically, I don't see why he shouldn't follow to the academy as well.
Elton John music slowly increasing volume in the distance.
Oh lord.
All right, they're heading to the Rosaino Institute of Magic. And lastly, Hollow. You've bought a shiny new whistle.
Yeah.
You haven't
I
bought
would-
it yet, have you?
I have not, nor do I have a reason to do it yet.
I mean, in order to actually activate the magic, you have to speak a command word. It doesn't happen automatically. So you could potentially
Nice.
blow it without actually you releasing the hex magic within.
You know what? That is true. I will blow into it. Then.
Wonderful. So in the middle of this crowded plaza around the big fountain, where there are children, people of all
No.
ages, Hollow brings this brand new whistle to his mouth, and just out from under the brim of his wizard hat, the old man who was previously counseling you and sold you the whistle takes one look out under his eye. He sees you bring the whistle to your lips. His two thin fingers come up and plug his ears. And then the younger wizard, who previously guided you towards the older man, sees you out of the corner of his eye, and just at the last second, goes to bring his hand and go, no. And then as you bring the whistle to your mouth, and you blow into it, who here is familiar with the sound of an Aztec death whistle?
I was gonna say, is this a fucking
Oh,
Aztec
yeah.
whistle?
Those are
I
cool.
was,
yeah.
I was thinking the exact same fucking thing. I was like, is this an Aztec death whistle?
There is not
Because
a
if
more
that's
cursed sound in whistle form, which is
Then
fitting,
ask-
because
Does it
this is
sound
made
like-
for
It-
propagating curses. So
It is like a Nazgul scream from Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings.
It's
Yeah.
fucking terrifying.
Yep.
Uh,
it was made. At least as far as I heard, it was made as a demoralization tactic, which fits.
yeah, sure as hell fucking work.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like when the Witch King of Angmar lets out his scream in Return of the King.
Yeah. So yeah, it sounds pretty much spot on to a Nazgul. Which,
Top 10 incidents before disaster. Holo holo blowing into the whistle.
the reaction from the crowd is a cascade. First, children scream, babies wail, dogs bark, and cats screech. You're pretty sure every bird within a mile radius begins to fly in the direct, straight line away from you. As every bird, every pigeon, every flamingo in the square takes off in flight and immediately vacates it. Some people begin running, panicked. Some only run a few steps in the opposite direction, wondering for a moment what the hell caused that. Some heads go your direction, others whip around in alarm. Some of the wizards you see immediately, they have energy at their fingertip as they immediately whirl on you, and you're faced by about 6 different mages, all about ready to throw various forms of arcane lightning at you. Some of the guards perk up and begin to walk over.
Uh-oh.
Others are more concerned with keeping the crowd calm. And for a moment, there is, besides the sound of animals and children, total silence in the square. And even for some streets radiating outwards.
You know what? Holo holo looks like he just scared himself. But by blowing into it, that's one thing he didn't. So he's just
I think Holo Holo, one of the last things he was expecting was the sound of someone, a man or woman screaming in agony emanating from the whistle.
Yeah, that's not what I expected. Not what I expected. What's just a wizard just start he's just picking himself up and he's walking back into the fucking. But yeah, no. He's doing fucking patting his own ears.
In hindsight, perhaps somewhat unsurprising, given the description that the older wizard gave as to how this was used in the war, the way his friend would utilize it. Yes, some of the one who originally died, the one who was bringing up his hand in a no gesture, comes over. He trots over, clamps his hands over yours and says, "Don't you do that."
I have never experienced such a device.
Yeah, and I'm
Right.
pretty sure everybody else in the square didn't either.
Anyways, are your ears ringing as well?
A bit. You tend to lose that after a while, after the 20th fireball. But yes, a little bit. But, please, thank you for your patronage, but please put this away. We'll handle the guards. They probably have a couple of questions. We're trying to not tell them that we sold you a curse whistle. Probably best you don't tell somebody else that either.
You know what? I agree. And the Holo Holo's gonna stash in his pocket.
He brings you back, pulls you along just a little bit by the shoulder of your clothing. As you pass by the older wizard, whose long crotchety fingers are now out of his ears, and there's a slight contented smile on his face as you hear a little mumble of just like the old days. And then, as you pass by, he leads you to a little alleyway behind the shopping stall. He says it's probably best you head through this way.
I'm getting smuggled out.
It wasn't a felony or anything. You probably don't want to be questioned by the guards for the next couple hours, and we don't want a customer being questioned like that because it's bad for optics.
Yeah. I like to imagine like Flick and like everyone else is doing something, then like they kind of like vaguely hear the scream in the distance.
Yeah.
They're like, huh?
Like anybody who's outside of a building when that happens would have heard like the shrill sound of somebody getting murdered from a couple miles away.
Who's
that?
Like the good old days.
Oh, just like the good old days.
I missed my checklist. Now they call them war crimes. No fun, you say.
Huh? Grandpa, huh?
They don't make wars like they used to. Before, you didn't. They couldn't tell you what to do. Now they got fines and they got laws and tribunals and
laws.
court martials. They
Back in my day,
they don't make them like they
my
used
fireballs brought all the ladies to the yard.
to. Back in my day, I don't want
The graveyard.
I was about to make a very
The
bad
graveyard.
These mages and their newfangled Geneva Conventions.
Mhm. What's a merciful spell? Yeah, no, I was about to take that on a very dark turn, but I think it's probably better I don't.
You know what? Fair.
Anyways,
So, you are directed down an alleyway, and eventually that alleyway will dispense you in a little side road, a little closer to the Magical Institute. What would you like to do for the rest of your day?
Well, I wanted to buy spell components and alchemy shit. Maybe there's another place I can do that.
Oh, you're in a
But
city that's like known for its magic. You can get this shit all over the city.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm good. I'm
you go
good.
to another magic shop and the same crotchety wizard is there. It's him again.
Please.
Even us
Hello.
little folks gotta have a
Hello.
day job. What? I'm a 14th level wizard and I can't work a shop counter? You. Yes.
Hello, young man. How are you? I just sold this shit to you.
Loyal
Anyways.
customer. Repeat customer. Oh, it's like
Freaking flyers.
A platypus?
Platypus.
Lolo the capybara.
Uh,
Lolo. Right. So you continue finding a few more places. We're getting alchemical components here is not difficult. You're in the right section of the city. Spell components, likewise. As long as you're not looking for anything that's like too expensive, like diamonds or pearls or things like that. In that case, you're gonna have to go out of your way to try and get that. And it's gonna be significantly more expensive than just simple spell components.
Would I be able to find the components for See Beyond here?
See Beyond. What is the component for that?
I think it's incense, but it's like 300 like
There's your
gold incense.
your gold
Yeah.
of incense.
Yeah.
Given the fact that you are in what would be considered a large city, or even a metropolis, quite, a large city, I will say you can do that without having to hunt around for it.
Yeah. Yeah, just enough gold for.
If this were someplace like, I want to say like a small village or just a township, you would have to see if there's a merchant that has like that much incense or that much like that high quality of incense in stock.
Yeah.
But here, a major trade hub, yeah, not a problem.
Yeah, and other than that, I just want to get some alchemical ingredients for potion making.
Yep.
Yeah,
For
that's
incense, you're able to hit up an herbalist or a perfumer, and they'll be able to hook you up just fine. Yeah. So, again, neither my mind nor my hands are here.
what? What happened to your hands?
Lost them in the war.
Oh,
Stupid.
why did the tree speak
Thank you,
celestial?
June. I heard that. Yes. You are able to successfully hunt down 300 GP worth of high quality incense and enough spell components that you feasibly, for a good long while, are not going to have to worry.
Okay. Good. How much until would you say would be the like alchemical ingredients.
Like I said before,
I'm not.
I'll just say it for a general restock, 1 gold.
Okay.
1 gold will get you a hell of a lot in terms of just normal mundane supplies.
Oh, okay. Oh shit. Alrighty.
Like I said, I've said it before. While upon further examination, it doesn't always extend to everywhere or everyone. For your typical like unskilled laborer, a gold is usually something like at least
A year's worth.
not even like I think it's actually less than a year's worth. It's more like I want to say something like 6 weeks worth of labor. But it still gets you a hell of a lot. That's like that's how much you get paid for that. I think a gold is more like how much a single laborer is able to save up over the space of a year. Because everything else, like a good chunk of that goes towards living expenses, owning land, home, caring for any dependents, kind of thing. I think I may have misconstrued that. It's not how much they make in a year, it's how much they manage to save up in terms of like savings and disposable income.
No, I see.
Not a massive distinction that needs to be worried about in D&D, but in terms of like actually describing it in accurate senses, it can matter. Or it matters to me, at least.
It matters to me. It's real to me.
The lore, man.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Okay.
Spending the next few hours, I'll say, just walking around the town. I say, given the fact that you're currently, like, puttering around that neighborhood, moving through one of the main streets, eventually, whether it's one or the other, Tycho and Vark, Hollow Hollow, you spot each other. You don't exactly blend in with the crowd.
Damn.
I blend in, probably.
When you try to.
No.
When you try to.
You try.
Of anybody in that group, you probably have the best chance of actually blending in.
Actually, now that I think about it, honestly probably not right now because I'm pretty sure she's just forgets to turn back. She's still in Kitsune form.
That's fair. I would say
I'm
out
gonna
of
look.
everybody in the group, you have the best potential of looking like a normal human.
I'm gonna look over it before I like go to greet them. I'm gonna look over to Paka and Lola and essentially say, "Don't you snitch on me."
They look to you, and they say, "We literally cannot speak to them."
Yeah, but knowing something, you would find a crafty way to tell them about what happened.
Damn, you're on to me.
Exactly.
Go socialize. You need more of it.
Well, I feel like I did some socializing today.
You scared an entire plaza full of people.
I had a pretty nice conversation with the
The
with
Crucial War veteran. Was
yes.
probably tortured and agonized unspeakable amounts of lives.
Good point. It does sound a little bit like me. Anyways, yeah, I'll go see what. I'll go talk to them.
There's Lolo, like as she trots along behind you, shaking her head, is going like, "Why am I the voice of reason?"
Just a quick question: have you been talking to them like
Yeah.
while you were visibly like in front of us? At a distance, obviously, but
Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to understand any of it, but yeah, Holo would have been like looking down at the rat and like saying like, yeah.
that's all I need. So the moment you come into earshot, that scream was you, wasn't it?
You know what?
Lolo looks up at Vark, then at Hollow Hollow, and if rodents could shrug.
Did they like flick their nose?
He had a suspicion based just on who he knows Holo Holo to be and how he is like. And then he saw Holo Holo notice them, and then immediately talk with his rodents. He's like, he's telling them not to tell them.
You know what? I don't like having people roll sense mode. No. Hold on. It's obvious. It's obvious. It's like he's not gonna say it outright, but yeah, no, it's obvious that the scream was him.
Also, I think
He's
at
looking
one,
up.
at one point we did like solidify that Holo is absolutely awful at lying.
Yeah, he's no. He has a -2 in bluff. Yeah.
Yeesh.
But yeah. But yeah, no. Holo Comey stares at Vark. How did you know?
At this point, Chag will look over and just, I don't have time for this.
That's rude.
Let's, it's fine.
If it makes you feel any better, I didn't expect for it to do that.
I believe you. In truth, I do not care either. It's just I had a feeling.
Yes,
Thank you
that's
for confirming
probably-
my understanding.
I will pull out the whistle though and show them.
What you see is a little tin whistle with a little loop on the end. Tin whistle specifically, for those who don't know exactly what that is, are those little metal whistles that you can slide. And they have like, little finger holes on it. Yes. He presents it out. Yeah.
I got to enhance my hexing capabilities.
If you blow that near me, please warn me.
I will try. The big key word here is try.
Willow does speak up and say, it does have an activation word. If you let them know what it is, they might be able to expect it.
Out of character, what was the action word
You
again?
never actually got one. More or less, when it comes to like command word activation ones, if you are crafting it, you usually determine it yourself. It's an item you get. Either it's sort of just hand wave that your character knows it and just says it, without ever actually coming up with it. And then in certain cases, certain items you actually know, like in character and out of character, know what the name is, and you can say it if you so wish. It comes down from item to item. Considering it was made by a very spiteful Rosinan wizard
Pissed off.
to scare to scare and curse the Crusaders of Eridine. Quick.
I killed your god. Just fucking. Oh.
Yeah. The power word for it is Morte Legra.
Mort de Legra? Is that what you said?
Morte.
Morte?
M-O-R-T.
Mm-hmm.
Legra. L-E-G-G-E-R-A.
Mort de Legra.
Mhm.
Death, something death.
Do you know what Legra is? Out of character.
That-
It is Italian for light.
Oh, dead light.
More specifically, light death.
Yeah. Death to light.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Actually, no, it should be.
Bury the light.
Yeah. Actually, no, that's incorrect. It shouldn't be Legra, because Legra means, I believe it means light as in weight. It should be Luce.
Morte.
Morte
Yeah,
Luce.
good. Oh, okay. I got it. Holo Holo will tell them that. Actually.
Why
No,
that's
just-
why that's the command word. It should be fairly easy to figure out for anybody that's paying attention to that whole dynamic. Not that you're obligated to.
I have a feeling Mallory would think that'd be some sort of heresy.
Oh, definitely. It was made specific. It was like basically so that he could call out "fuck your god" before then cursing them. Because Erodine's primary figure of worship is the Lady of Light.
You know what? Fair. Scary.
Things were different during wartime, man.
Yeah, things were different. Back in my day.
Back in my day, anything, as long as nobody was there to court-martial you for it.
What was that, Grandpa? Nothing.
Some people call it PTSD. I call it nostalgia.
Oh no.
Oh!
That is
Oh,
I say that.
familiar
I had
feeling.
a veteran friend actually say those words to me.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
You know what? Okay then.
That was a quote from a friend of mine. That was not me actually saying that, because that is fucked up.
That is
I
hella
was about
fucked.
to say yikes.
That is a phrase.
Anyway, the three of you have met up, but not without something else. And I did roll for this beforehand. Let's see what would happen.
You did roll, you said?
I rolled something last session. See if something specific would happen. And
How specifically what?
very specific. Where did the specific as a matter of fact?
Who's the event for?
Depends. Depends. I find it here. Mountain of notes I have. That. Where are you? Did I lose you? That's a shame.
Oh, no.
Hot Night Joe?
Also a good question.
Where'd you come from? Where'd you go? Where'd...
Apparently disappeared, so I'm gonna have to put you back into a sheet. Lovely.
Oh my.
Mm,
He's putting you back in the sheet, Julian.
I'm putting
You
it
have to go back.
I'm putting it back in the box.
No! Not the barrel!
Not the
Put him in the barrel.
Being picked
Put him in the barrel.
Put him-
Pickle him. Pickle him. Pickle him.
Pickle, pickle, pickle.
It's name. I have file space for. Let's see.
Pickle him. I love how that's kind of for majority where it ended off for Julian in the previous.
Yeah.
Pickled.
You just fucking throw it into a barrel, and just
The Schrodinger's fairy.
oh god,
Until that
That's
barrel is
one-
opened, you never know if he's truly pickled or not.
I
Has he-
can't.
Has he already
Me,
Wait.
going to the bonfire, or is he still in that barrel? Who knows?
Are you telling me I can find Lamusi?
If I was left of him.
The
You're
desiccated remains of Lamusi
No, the preserved.
Jelly.
preserved.
Lamusi
Oh.
can never truly die, Jake.
Honestly, they can't.
Yeah, that is true.
That's fair, actually.
Much to a certain someone's
There-
chagrin. Yeah, Lamusi is not capable of death yet.
Lovely. Okay. As you are wandering down Electric Avenue, the main thoroughfare street that leads to the Rosino Institute of Magic. No, I didn't forget about that. The name I gave that street. Walk down to
Let's call something.
Electric Avenue,
Call it.
and let me levitate you higher. That doesn't fit the beat.
And I'm going to serve a mute. I'm kidding.
Also, I have a question I have to answer.
So wait, what happened to the rolled thing?
Oh, about the
Unveil that.
I was just answering a
Okay.
question.
I also had a question for you in
Yep.
20 trap.
That's what I was answering.
Oh,
There you go.
I see.
I threw it back
Oh.
at you.
Mm.
So, as the three of you have met upon Electric Avenue and are making your ways downtown, walking at a leisurely stroll, you hear a voice call out to you. As it's a bit hard. Those of you who look to see the track where the voice is coming from, it's through the crowd as the people pass back and forth over the heavily trafficked cobblestone street. Here and there, you can see gaps in the crowd where you can make out a form. Live. Second. Once more answer. Also, Grim, thank you very much for the self-care. Much appreciated.
Yay.
At first, it looks to be a hand waving above the crowd, just barely visible above it. Since I think most of you are of average or lower height, until eventually it pushes closer through the crowd, and you see it's more than just one, two, three hands extended above the crowd and waving to you. As then eventually pushing through and breaking through the crowd.
Oh, God.
Oh,
It's
mommy.
it's
Itra!
it's the spider mommy.
Hey,
Mhm.
we got to the city and I just lost you guys. Where'd you go?
He's
Been
better
like-
at explaining it. I'm gonna push Vark right in front of me.
It's been like
I too push Vark.
it's been like what, a week or something? Where'd you guys disappear to?
We had personal business to attend to. I apologize for leaving you in the dark.
Right, you mentioned you had something personal to deal with here. Did it turn out okay?
To make a long story short, yes.
Okay, I'm glad. Not gonna push anymore. If that's done. I had some stuff I had to do here. I'm done as well. Honestly, I'm just kinda sad I missed out. Oh, yeah. Also, here's some things about like crime picking up in the Rose District. You guys want to be careful, I think. Oh, yeah.
Aiko will speak up.
Mhm.
Because. Oh, there's crime getting. There's more crime around the Rose District, you say?
Yeah, like, weirdly enough, like, no deaths so far, but like a lot of people being beaten really bloody.
Well, that's very not a good thing.
Finally, someone I can use my whistle on.
Please do not.
I don't know if I want to ask.
Did you hear that screeching earlier?
It was you.
Yep.
Yes.
Turns to Vark. Goes, You travel with interesting people. I knew already when there was the whole like tentacle monster fight that you guys had interesting times ahead of you. But wow, I was not expecting this. You guys are characters. She says like she's not some six-armed woman strolling about in a city where a magical festival is currently going on.
We've been told.
Well,
Wherever we go, it's very unfortunate, but it seems many interesting things follow us, or we go to them.
I guess you guys are never bored. What are you getting around to? Do you mind if I tag along? Kind of just been bumming around the city on my own, all my lonesome. People tend to stare when you have 6 arms.
Well,
Sure. Another one to add to the misfits.
like a
Please
truck,
don't
like
say it like that. And yes, you may join us. I have no qualms.
Cool. What are you guys up to? Are we gonna check out the festival? See some of the wizard performances, or
Are we going back to the festival?
I think the festival is more
PTSD.
than just that plaza. The festival extends
Oh,
to
okay.
multiple streets.
Okay, good, because I thought we were going back to that pause and Holo was about to go, like, wide-eyed again. Oh, no.
Oh. In fact, the festival continues to stretch down Electric Avenue all the way to the front steps of the Institute. Where you are right now is less of the market section and more the performances. As well as
Saying
you see
Electra or Electric, by the way?
Electric.
It's a joke.
Yes. Also, by the very front, the very front gates, and the university itself is stately. It's a big old manor building with several towers that connect some large bridges and walls to one another. It's very strange, as each of the towers connect to one another with individual bridges that are built at different altitudes. So they all crisscross, and every tower is connected to one another. And those bridges crisscross over the primary institute building, which itself has these crystalline glass tubes that extend up to these bridges. And every now and again, you see a shimmer of light, and then a wizard zip up one of those tubes and onto one of the bridges, and then stride on into one of the towers. But to speak more about the actual institute building itself, it is quite large. It takes up a good section of the block it's on. I want to say about half the block, I would say. And the front gate itself is a large wrought iron looking thing, which is now currently all the way open, with the front garden that's in front of it packed full with people. In particular, there's all kinds of performances going on, informational booths, representative booths of the different schools of magic, all giving both lectures as well as demonstrations of what sets the different forms of magic apart from one another. Last but not least, by the very front door of the academy itself, is a recruitment desk where more than a few wizards of different levels of seniority are approaching people, hawking to people, and trying to push the benefits of military service, as well as military service, and also signing up for higher magical education at the institute itself. But yes, it is recruitment season. It's also not a secret that in Rosaino, it is not, unless you are a citizen of the country and you are a mage, military service is not obligated, but there are benefits for taking part. If you are a foreign national, you can still take part if you go through a series of tests and prove some level of loyalty to the country.
Honestly, considering the the history of this nation, I wasn't going to be surprised if it had like a Finland-esque like mandatory service.
or like South Korean.
Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah, I can see that. But yes, no, they have a fairly military past, which is why the Institute and being trained as a wizard, and also just in general serving the country, is very heavily woven into one another. It's generally assumed that if you join the Institute, you're at least going to do a tour of maybe 2 years. Sometimes that's at home, here in the country, just doing basic stuff, keeping the infrastructure running, and sometimes it's guarding the border. Thankfully, right now, there is no all-out combat, so most people who do a short stint don't expect conflict, don't expect to actually go into real combat. Peacetime, but tentative peace. So, that aside, that description aside, from the lore dump, Mitra is here now, and she has attached herself to your little wandering group.
What did you go do while we were off doing business?
Well, I had a couple personal things I'm dealing with. I guess I could tell you. I'm looking for my sister.
Oh, who's your sister?
We were twins. So she looks basically like me. Her name's Vitra. Her parents weren't terribly creative, but it does mean that a lot of the time we can pull off some pretty decent pranks. But we got separated when we came over to this continent, and I haven't been able to find her since.
We reclaimed his birthright, and I'm going to point to Var.
Brings up like 2 of her hands with a thumbs up and goes, "Cool. You like some sort of long-lost prince or something?"
Less impressive than that. We might travel a lot more together. So I will
I mean, only if you
divulge
want me.
information.
But you're not obligated to take me on just because we traveled together once before.
You saved my life.
We're getting another person inside our.
Don't say it like that, please. It
Cart.
sounds weird.
Common's not my first language.
Mine neither, but cool. But also thank you. Yeah. You guys are cool, if kind of weird, but the same goes for me. So, Also, traveling can get really lonely. I'm used to having my sister next to me the entire time.
Where'd you last see her?
Perhaps we can discuss this not in the streets.
She looks around where you guys are just kind of standing there in the middle, and there are people constantly having to weave their way around you. It's like, yeah, that's probably a polite thing to do. For a moment, you were that asshole group just standing in the middle of a public throughway.
Wow, just like us in Amsterdam. Whoa.
What? Oh boy. Yes. Are you guys moving to try and go into the Institute, considering that was where Chaiko was hoping to inquire?
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
Woo! Wonderful. Mika actually looks to Hollow and says, like, you said Common's not your first language, and I can kind of hear it. Where the hell are you from?
Ridgeback.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
You know where Shabak is?
Yeah, loosely?
Around there.
Oh, huh. I passed through Nomaria on the way here, but yeah, I didn't stay very long in Shabak. They apparently don't like me very much.
They don't like a lot of people.
I got that. The Marians were even less friendly, though. They're very paranoid.
Those are the
That's the
Alakir.
that's the
The-
country just north of Shabak is Nomaria.
isn't that the paranoid vampire nation? I can't, or am I thinking of
It's the
another
one
one?
that's ruled over by with an iron fist by the vampire known as the Beast. Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Glad you recalled that.
Huh.
Yes, it is as a country very often beset with doom and gloom, and it's a very depressing place.
Yeah, Shibak has been trying to take over my people's island for mostly monetary reasons.
Yeah, those dragon worshipping dicks will do that.
I mean, we could point over to the capybara. I mean, he bit off the dick of one of them, so I suppose I helped somehow.
Shit.
Yeah, capybara rodent teeth hurt.
She drops to her
Heard a lot.
She drops to her haunches, brings one of her 6 hands up to in front of the capybara, and Lolo just looks at it for a moment, then up at Mitra, and then brings up one of her paws and just up against
The
Mitra's
pop
head.
just That's adorable.
I like her. She's got spunk.
Paka, the small one, Lolo, the big one.
I've heard them.
Name wise, or
No, that language. We got something similar back home. Sounds like a dialect, weirdly enough.
it's
crazy,
We
right?
call it Kupwin, but it's a derivative of Celestial.
Right, yeah. Right, I didn't say where I was from. Probably not been there. It's a little place we call the Coral Cities. It's really far away. Yeah, we have a similar language though. It sounds weirdly familiar. It sounds like it's like a dialect or something.
Would I know that region, considering its proximity to a certain other location?
Roll me a history or a knowledge local. Either one works.
History is my best. 14.
14. Unfortunately, no. The Coral Cities does not ring a bell.
No, I don't know it.
It's just carry on this conversation as you guys continue through the courtyard and towards the front doors of the institutions. Okay, things are a little bit different there. We've got a whole thing, a culture surrounded, like ancestor spirits and stuff ascended. Some of us can ascend up, and a few of them. It's really weird to explain to outsiders, but basically the gist of it is that
No, I actually get it. That's really similar to how our system works.
Ridgeback sounds weirdly familiar. It's strange that I've never heard of that place.
I do know of Ridgeback's origins as a kind of originally kind of involving Zenokiche, right?
Yeah.
To a degree.
You also know that a lot of the people who came there or who were there are like their parents or they themselves were not born there.
Mm-hmm.
And that itself is not like a homogenous culture. It is a bit of a patchwork of people who have kind of escaped from more undesirable societies.
Okay. Must be the Zenokichen influence that
those
I
dicks.
expect.
No. We don't associate with them.
Good.
They are really not nice neighbors. We're very lucky.
Bloodthirsty.
We're really lucky to have the run between them and us. Yeah, less said about those blood fanatics, the better.
What do you call your ancestors?
Well, we have a. This is the bit that gets weird to explain. We have this concept called the Devati. Children that are born twins within the Coral Cities and in that general area, specifically more like originally, I think it was around Naibo where it was more of common. There was a phenomenon that was kicking up and it became more and more of a thing where children born as twins had the potential to ascend. When that happens, One stays on the celestial, one stays on the mortal plane, and one ascends to the celestial realm. And that's when they become terrestrial and celestial Devati. So we call them Devati, or celestials.
Oh, yeah. I've never heard of the twin thing before, but that sounds pretty interesting.
That's always the hardest bit for people to grasp. The idea that just being born twins somehow makes it a possibility, and that that alone can be enough for you to. It's really not just that, but that's how people tend to reduce it, and that's enough to get you up into there. She points with one finger, vaguely towards the ceiling.
You kind of get up there in my group by tricking people in fun ways, not like very hurtful ways.
Interesting.
Yeah, the whole thing in Woodbridge back in Shabak is that an elder of my group made a promise to a Shabaki noble that the island would be succeed when he passed away. That didn't
He never
mean
died, did
he became a Kupwa.
I like your people.
They're fun. We have fun here.
Just around when that wraps up, you guys get into the foyer of the Rosaino Institute of Magic.
Actually, at some point during the whole conversation, pop sound. Just at some point, you transform back to a.
Woman?
Yep.
Okay. The inside of the foyer is a little less crowded than the courtyard is. There's not as many children here, but there's obviously the odd enthusiastic child and teenager that are hoping for some wizard here or another to basically just hand them magic, and then almost inevitably being disappointed. But they come in. You guys come in. You see that there are quite a few wizards and others in different forms of attire, denoted with different cloaks and colors and emblems, which some of them seem fairly straightforward, some of them a little less easy to decipher. Probably far easier to get a handle on if you actually knew how the whole hierarchy within the institute worked. But there are desks staffed with people waiting. Questions are being answered. Demonstrations are being given. A tour is being organized. Question becomes, where would you like to go to try and get your answers?
Well, I guess I'll just pick a line and see what. Wait until I can get to the front.
Okay.
Do you need any help, Chaco?
Yes. If you can find. Oh yeah, you weren't here for that. I'm trying to find someone. Information about a certain someone specifically.
Oh,
What was their name?
looking for someone too?
Looking. Yeah. I guess you weren't there too. I'm sorry about that. Yes, I'm looking for things about my my adoptive lineage.
Oh, okay.
Things have gotten a lot more complicated.
It sounds like it. Sounds like you've been through a lot.
Yeah, this day's not over, and I'm still chugging along.
If it makes you feel better, I can relate now.
What did you say, Mark? Spoons? What about spoons?
You should ask her about the spoons.
Cass a very careful Chico, not mentioning spoons.
Dude.
And is like very careful. It's like, should I mention the spoons? Like, should I step on that landmine?
Chico will cast Jolt on Vark. There's a little poke, little jab on the side. I know you have electric resistance.
Yeah, not good.
Instead, it's just a
Yeah, I
positive.
think that Mark's hair becomes an afro. It doesn't deal any damage.
It goes from that sort of like messy poof of silver hair to more of like a Joker sort of like ruffle fro.
Yeah.
that aside, you've done nothing wrong, Mitra. The spoons. Long story short, the person I'm looking for wrote a book about talking with spoons. Not communicating with like a language with spoons, more so the spoons actually talked to her. Seemingly possessed human level intelligence. And that was all it was pretty much written in the book. How the information was going to be passed down. And that's how I found out I'm related to her in the most technical sense of terms.
So your step grandchild?
I'm not even sure myself, but yeah, that sounds about right.
I will never eat with spoons again.
You're gonna eat with spoons.
I don't know how to respond to that statement. So I'm just not going to. Look, I'm sorry.
That's the best answer.
Look, I'm sorry you're going through so damn much. I'm just hunting down my twin after being separated. It sounds like you're all going through a hell of a lot. It puts
Wait.
perspective.
Wait, you said twin when you mentioned Devati earlier. Are you a Devati or are you just twins?
Roll me a sense motive.
Oh, this is gonna be bad, but yeah, sure, I'll
Other
throw
people
one.
can do
Actually,
so
wait.
as well if they wish.
Ooh, I love
Taka,
sense motives.
Taka and Lolo are right beside me, and they actually give me a buff to it. So you know what?
Go
It's
for it.
actually
Go for
You
it.
might have half a shot at it.
yeah.
He says he flubs it.
So I believe this should be just a. Okay. Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
I see.
Completely
Spirit says-
oblivious.
So potions are so Holo and yeah, potions are there because that's his name. That's my eyes immediately went to on Roll20. What Holo and Varkseed from their perspective is Mitra cool as a cucumber going like, oh no, that's just a coincidence. Ormo was like, no, it's just I'm like brushing off as basically just being a coincidence. What Chaiko sees from her perspective is Mitra's eyes immediately darting back and forth and going, no.
Okay.
Shaiko will then go. Shaiko in this response will go. To make things here, to change the topic. Well, you're not the only one looking for family as well. I'm technically looking for my father as well.
I just
So this is fun.
Also, that sense motive immediately helps you see that she immediately clings to the topic change. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I can't help with your grandmother, I think, but maybe I can help you with your dad.
Ever been to Feetsmarn?
Never heard of it.
That's about right.
Yeah, that's about it.
She'll take the tea kettle off her. She'll take the tea kettle off her hip because she refuses to let it go.
It's like you say feet
Then
smart,
she'll-
it's like she's just like there's an immediate like awkward look for her. It's like, does it smell like feet?
So if she won't even respond, she'll just take out the tea kettle, hold it out, flip it upside down, hold the symbol of Felgor's symbol on the bottom to her. Does it look familiar?
Not really, but it does remind me of like the reminds me of like the style of tea kettles that the some of the Devati and the monks back home used to carry around.
She'll then flip it over.
It's a sturdy looking thing.
Yes. My father was a blacksmith, and he knew how to make. He knew how to make a lot of weapons, and
Well, that explains the scarf you made.
Salt of the
Okay.
earth. He sounds like the salt of the earth.
what's that meaning?
Oh, right. Still getting used to common. Salt of the earth. It means like honest workers, like the foundation of society.
Yes, he was.
like a real, like grounded and sensible, worldly person.
He was. She'll put the tea kettle back on her hip. Well, if you want a name to look around with me, 2 names are important right now. Felgor Kunstel, and the other one was, I have it written down actually. Dr. High Magus Lucerna Thickfoot.
There's an,
Hello.
there's an uncertain look in her eyes, and she says, "Are you sure this doesn't have something to do with feet?"
Jesus.
I hold up a finger, and I hold a jolt spell, a jolt cantrip.
Okay,
Don't, please.
okay. I'll hold off on the jokes.
She does that a lot.
Noticed. Just, I don't think I can shrug it off like Lord Ken.
Anyways,
It won't hurt that much.
what's the? Don't lie to her like that. Don't.
Out of character. So 1d3.
Don't. I don't think Holo Holo knows that. Anyway.
No one does. It's
Yeah.
really little.
Or at least he doesn't know how effective it is. Anyways, what? Holo's gonna say check it. What's the name again?
You should know Felgor, so it's notes again. Dr. High Magus Lucerna Thickfoot.
Yeah, the weird man that came to my tribe a long time ago. I didn't get to mention that the session that got brought up, but I remember when Quest mentioned that a long time ago, the Holo Holo actually knew of the name because he came to Ridgeback at one point.
Yeah.
Come again?
Yeah, Holo. I'll essentially just reiterate. Holo.
Demetrius is like doing the like sort of cross-armed thing, where it's like one hand points one direction, the other the other, then repeats that with her other 4 hands, and she says, "So is Thickfoot the old guy who delivered the knives, or is Felgor the wizard that talked to spoons, or?" I'm getting a bit confused here.
Let me see something real quick. Lovely. I do have arcane marks still. Can I borrow your hand?
Which one?
One of them.
Sure. I'll give you my rock, paper, scissors hand, and she gives you her left middle hand.
Cool. I arcane mark Felgor. Felgor. I think it's colon. Yeah, that's what it's called. Colon. Falder. Colon Smith. Underneath that, I'll put Lucerna. Colon. Grandmother. Colon Spoons.
Okay. Grandma was a spoonomancer, and your dad was the vice. Okay. Dude inspects the mark on her hands and goes like, I had that one as a kid. I kept mixing my lefts and rights.
And here's why I don't tell her that it's. Here's why I don't tell her that it's permanent.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh,
You evil son of a bitch!
Who's
hath
Felgor,
thou
who's
wrought?
Lucerna, and what's it got to do with spoons? Like, and dads and grandmothers. Like, sometimes you have a regret when you get a tattoo.
what hath thou wrought?
Terrible, truly. But yes. You were out in the lobby of the Institute, though. And with that little bit of confusion sorted, Mitra points over and goes, like, I mean, there's got people at desk here. If there's anybody who's going to know, it's probably them.
I can go ahead and look through the books if possible, or anything.
I don't know. Are they just going to give you, like, straight access to the library?
Probably not.
This place is supposed to have military secrets or something, right? It'd probably be a bit more than that.
It has what?
I'm sorry, did you miss the recruiter's tent we passed by?
You know, no, I didn't.
I want to say something, but at this point, that level of situational awareness tracks.
I'm oblivious to a lot of things. I get told this quite often.
You just hear the Morgan Freeman voice in the background. He did, in fact, miss it.
Lena, aside, Tycho then wanders off to one of the counter.
Assuming nobody else wants to do something.
I'm quite content just watching this mess unfold.
Beautiful. Mitra, not wanting to interrupt someone who probably has a better idea of what to do than her, turns to bark. And, well, I told you guys where I'm from. Where are you from?
Like, opens his mouth, stops, closes it. Have you ever heard of the Shadow Plane?
Yeah, actually.
Well, there you have it.
There's a moment of mute lack of understanding. Then her middle arms cross over. See her lean towards you just a little bit. She squints, looks you dead in the eyes, and then leans back and goes, "No shit."
Quite so. Constantly the same expression.
He,
While the time we spent in your absence didn't really unveil anything about my origin. It did, however, solve the mystery about how I managed to exist here. Because normally I would not be able to.
yeah, because shadows don't have substance, right?
Correct.
How did you stick here? I mean, back home, we tried communing with shadows, and we can talk to them sometimes, but they never managed to stick here for any amount of time.
That is a somewhat personal matter.
Okay. Puts up two hands and goes, "Alright, we'll leave it at that then. You already answered my question, so here it is."
I will give you this. The person whom accomplished this paid a heavy price,
Must have.
and I seek to remedy that. That is my goal.
Well, they seem like a pretty kick-ass person if they managed to do that. Unless they brought you here. You seem like a pretty bang-up guy, so I'm all for it.
Yes, I suppose they are quite cool. The barest
Mm-hmm.
flick of a smile on his face.
There's a complicated look on Mitra's face before she says yes. Sounds very cool. We switch perspective. Over to Chaiko. As you approach one of the many info desks here, set up in the foyer, the rather expansive Institute of Magic here within the city of Rosaino. You will it show up? Thanks. There we go. Peering out from underneath a comically large wizard's hat, you see a familiar face.
Comically large.
Comically large.
That would be Sabrina, the teenage witch. What's her name again? Bartleby.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
Demonova.
Yes.
Yes. As I hopefully just popped up on every screen.
Mhm.
You see
Oh.
a familiar face. As she looks up, down at the ledger she's writing through, says, "One moment, please." And after a moment has passed, looks back up and says, "You look familiar. You're from the group in the village up north."
Insert pop sound.
Are you back in Kitsune form?
Yep.
Ah, yes, the shape-shifting foxwoman. Aiko, was it?
Yes. You may call me that. Yep.
I remember you showed some interest in arcane studies. Are you here to sign up?
Not currently. I'm here because of a lot of things, really.
Okay.
It's
well,
been a day.
It sounds like it. Are you able to compartmentalize it to something a little more manageable, perhaps?
To you or to myself?
Most importantly, to yourself. Because if you can't grasp and manage it, how the hell am I supposed to start?
You know, you're not wrong.
Okay.
She'll compose herself a little bit real quick.
So
Okay.
let's put the festival and all the magic and university and everything aside, much as I think would be blessed by having you among our students. And obviously, I will always champion the idea of higher education and how much you could benefit from it. I also understand you're probably not in the mood to deal with something like that. So what's the reason you're really here? Because you sound like you're here on a mission.
I am. I guess I'll just start like this. Can I ask for any information on a certain person that used to be part of this facility?
Okay. Inquiring about prior faculty or alumni shouldn't be an issue so long as nothing in their file is confidential. Even then, you just wouldn't be allowed to leave the confidential information. Do you have a name?
Dr. High Magus Lucerna Thickfoot.
She leans back, whittles with the hem of her, or with the brim of her hat for a moment, seems to think and says, I think that if I'm thinking of the right person, that would be Lucerna Lugubrious. Not often a topic of conversation. He, if I remember right, had some specialization in magic craftsmanship and chose to withdraw after finishing her final qualification for unstated reasons. There was a lot of speculation surrounding it. Any more, I guess it might be considered confidential. What are you hoping to learn? Also,
Well,
if I might ask, what is your relation?
Recently, I mean, about, I don't know, maybe an hour ago,
Oh.
found out she's my adopted grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a Yeah, no wonder. Okay. That's a bit tenuous. Foster relations are sometimes argued whether or not they're considered to be valid in terms of inquiring on from the position of a family member. If I was more old-fashioned, I'd throw the book at you, but I know you're solid, and I know that Fluffy Duddy's upstairs. Can dick. Scribbling something with her quill on the ledger. Says, I remember her file being a little bit thinner when I happened across it. How long ago must have been 5-6 years ago. But there's probably not a hell of a lot of information on her, and I can't go up and get it right now because I need to man the desk here. But if there's anything I can recall from memory that's not meant to be kept secretive, I could tell you. Or even just write it up here so you can read it somewhere where you feel secure to accept. Would you prefer that?
I don't mind if it's by verbal or by letter. At this point,
Okay. Suit yourself. What are you looking for? Like last known whereabouts, what her specialty was, favorite cookie recipe?
I think I know what her specialty was. I'm more looking for her any current whereabouts.
Okay. That one's a bit difficult. Because she did
Would-
leave without prior notice. It was very abrupt. I remember. It was quite abrupt. I remember there being some notation in the file from extant faculty at the time, being rather miffed at her. I think they were pushing her for something, and she had enough and just left.
I know what that was.
Yeah, then. Well, it sounded like she was on the verge of a breakthrough with something. We were quite agitated by the fact that she wasn't willing to share it if she got the breakthrough. Whatever that might be, I'm not going to push you for it because, honestly, from a pragmatic standpoint, we've been doing just fine without it. And from a secondary standpoint, it's just not decent to do.
Well, my next answer is this. My next question will... I think I'm gonna have to tell you for my next question.
Answer the question of like last known whereabouts. While she herself didn't give any notice of where she would be after leaving, that didn't stop the Academy from tracking her for a while. She was unfortunately a craftswoman and not first and foremost a abjuration nation mage, so she wasn't quite as good at protecting herself from divination magic. I would not normally tell people about this, but I feel like, besides being a violation of privacy and a very outmoded way of treating your alumni, served with distinction, mind you. Let's just say I'm not always in agreement with the higher faculty, and there's a reason why I spend a lot more time at the society than I do here. Well, they're here because they called me, and one of the witches called out sick on the last minute. So many bad things right now. Anyway. So, as far as what they had in the file, she had moved her way down through the Caspon Theocracy, now defunct, caught a boat there, and last people saw her, she was on Trichus.
That's... Alrighty. That's not too far if I recall correctly. Closer than I thought it was going to be. That information is also dated, so...
Yeah, she could be anywhere. She could be nowhere. She could be on the other end of the world. She was a mage, after all, and nobody really knows what exactly she had up her sleeve. If she had been a conjuration wizard, she could have been out the door on the other side of the planet, for all we knew, after a month. Let alone decades later.
Still better than nothing.
Who knows? Maybe there's somebody living on Trichus who saw her passing through and has a better idea.
Yeah.
Probably bound to be somebody who was alive when she passed through there.
I gotta hope. And now for the next question. Please don't try to look at me too weird for this next one.
Raises an eyebrow.
Has there been any boons left behind by Miss Lucerna? After Lucerna?
Booze.
Spoons.
There's a very bemused look on her face as she seems to. Her eyes go up to the ceiling. Her brow twists in different directions. As you can see her racking her brain. What an odd question.
I hate asking it myself, I'll be honest. It makes me sound a little mad.
A little bit, yes, but I assume you're doing it for an actual reason rather than just having me on.
You're part of the society too, yes?
Yes.
If you go to the library and look for a book called Talking with Spoons, that will tell you everything you need to know. It's in the library. I read it today, and now I'm here.
What a day.
Yes, it
What a day.
turns to the fourth wall. Yes, yes it is.
Okay. I will have to keep that in mind. Okay, spoons. I can't remember anything of note in. Huh. Do you remember there being a note that she apparently used to carry lots of silverware with her?
Yeah,
She
that
also
that
carried a
fits.
big backpack full of all kinds of things. It was known for for never traveling very light. Despite being a halfling. Thanks.
Yep, those were her friends, more than likely.
Okay, I wasn't going to assume that you were insane, but are you sure your mother might not have been just a little bit? Some mages go mad with their studies.
Something. Can I just recount paraphrasing the entire book to her?
Sure.
So it's like as this. Here is pretty much what that book said. You can read it for the exact words, but insert book story about how a young lady found Spoons. Spoons talked to her. She talked to her Spoons. A mage came by, took her. She at some point came back later. Was like, you know what? I'm gonna pass this down. And that book is in the Society Quadratica library.
What an interesting family legacy. I don't know whether to be envious or count myself fortunate.
I got yourself fortunate. Because now I have to track down two people. One,
And your
I'm...
primary hint to go off of is talking spoons.
Yep, this is fun.
You've asked a lot of questions. Can I ask you one?
Sure, go ahead.
Are you okay?
He's crazy.
It's like I'm not
Crazy?
I'm not questioning your sanity or anything. It's just, are you okay? 'Cause you don't look okay.
Lots been in my mind recently, and things just keep piling up.
Oh boy.
And here is when Traggle will start rambling, not really paying attention, mentioning that looking for her father, who may or may not be dead. Got her hands on a scrying orb, trying to describe about where he used to be, that being blocked and not working. Then also going on about how she wants to get her name out because she needs things, because this is dangerous, but she needs her name to be out there because there's people looking for her probably still, and now she needs to get her name out, so that's why she's out here. Also, why she just haphazardly transforms out in public now. Get some notoriety going. And now all this has led her to now looking for what is essentially her grandmother in her legacy of spoons, because she can't remember why some items in her father's forge used to talk to her.
Okay, so imagine what I'm hearing right now in my head, honestly, Sam, is a bunch of nuts and bolts being dropped in a fucking shop. That's essentially what Chico is trying. Like that's Chico's brain right now.
Yes.
The spaghetti comes flying out of your pockets and out as you just overshare with Devanova. And she listens, and her face alternates between fascination and surprise, horror, and then back to concern. As she listens out, as she hears you out, as you unload to her, and then you feel better, at least a little bit now.
To be honest, no, not really. Nothing's solved.
Okay, well, there's that hope. I would say that I've seen that look on somebody's face before, and that's usually a face they have right before they're about to, how do we put it? It's usually when people are, right before a moment when someone is about to be tested. Some people break, some people reforge into something stronger. My normal advice during such a situation is to stop, breathe, take a moment. More than just a moment. A while. I'm not sure you're going to listen to that. So the best alternative I can offer is make sure that when it happens that you're not.
We'll see what the future has in store for me, because recently it's been very eventful.
You say that with a smile and a giggle. I'm just getting more concerned.
You know, I'm going to keep going on until I get some answers, because I haven't had answers for a long time, alright?
I understand.
And I just need them. That's all I gotta say. I need some answers. Till then.
Her mouth opens, as if to say something. Slowly shuts with a click. And then she says, I hope that when you get them, whether they are what you need.
Here's hoping. She'll clap. She'll do a little small clap. Another question real quick.
Of course.
Can I purchase spells from here? Is it normal to ask for to copy spells from other spell books from here?
Honestly, it's encouraged within the limits of the Institute, particularly among students. Though wizards are also encouraged to open up their spell books and get used to the practice of wizards sharing spells. They usually, with the added caveat of making sure to charge for what is worth your time, because it costs money to get the right ink and paper to be able to copy it over. And it's also a fairly involved process where somebody has to sit with your book for several hours copying stuff out of it. And while they have your book, you can't cast spells, right? So we try to normalize for the students to charge for what their time is worth. So can either approach one of the students here, and they might be able to give you what you want, or you can approach some of the senior faculty, and they might do the same. If you really want to, you can have a look through my spellbook, see if any of those fit. All I'll charge you is the cost in ink.
I would really appreciate that.
Can't promise my book has everything you're looking for. Really more of a divination mage.
Well, if there there either be spells that I need or spells that I don't, and if there aren't many, that means I'll have less. I won't take your book for too long.
Okay.
Or borrow your book for too long.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Yes. DMs. Something.
You know,
At some point, Shackle will just get her magic marker finger and start writing spell names.
As you do so, she takes out a fresh piece of parchment and begins noting them down herself.
No, yeah, that would be easier. I forgot. We're in a school.
Oh, how about that? Okay. I'm noticing a trend here. Besides a tendency for the devious, you trying to make homunculi?
Yeah, something I do plan to do in the future, yes.
Following your
At least
grandmother's
try
footsteps,
to.
then.
And apparently someone else's mother, too. Do you know, insert Vark's,
Lydia?
summoner's mother's name?
Yes, she was brought up before, I believe. Yes, very prominent conjuration mage that used to be of high station here within the Institute and the Rosaina military.
Yeah, we went to her tower recently.
Really? That shouldn't surprise
Yeah.
me if Bark was her descendant. Beneficiary, I guess. Makes sense to me.
She had a lot of stuff she had a lot of constructs there. Some bound elementals. It was an interesting place. That's where I borrowed that scrying orb.
Huh. I was wondering where you'd gotten that from. Okay. Just say. Yeah, a lot of these are immediately available in her book if you want to pay the cost for them. I believe copying a spell is
Yeah, I forget the actual cost. Thinking what's it? I think level 1's are like 25 gold. I want to say level 2 is like 50, I think. No, that's way too much for level 2. I think it's level 3. We can also add spells for the magic. Wizard spells and borrowed spell books. Adding spells to a wizard's spell book. Here we go. Spells copied from another spell book or scroll. The wizard can add a spell to his book whenever he encounters one on a magic scroll or another wizard's spell book. No matter what the spell's source, the wizard must first decipher the magical writing, because every wizard more or less has their own sort of shorthand when they write their magic into the book. At the end of the hour, you make a spellcraft check. It's the 15 spell level.
Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have a cost attached to it.
Huh.
Spell. Oh no, here we go. Writing a new spell in spell. Process takes 1 hour per spell level. Oof. Cost for writing a new spell into spellbook. It depends on the level of magic. Writing costs. Yeah, it's got an escalating cost per spell level table. Such, I will send it to you. Riveting. Nope. Shoot that at the rock. That's the monetary cost. And that's an hour per spell level.
Yikers.
So then reconsiders and says, "You're probably not going to be here all day, are you?"
I mean, I got nothing much else to do but to look at our cohorts. Alright, those guys are here too.
Yeah, and you probably got. Honestly, you probably don't want to sit here in the hallway all day talking from about here. How about this? Then goes down, rifles through a bag on her hip, then pulls out several scrolls. You're probably better off seeing if another wizard is going to give you time. You might want to do it. I don't know how long you're going to be here. I recommend maybe after the festival, when less of them are so busy and they don't need their spell books for, running things in the festival. But he pulls out a scroll of Identifier's Eye, Mirror Image, Evaluator's Lens, just to make sure. You take a note of this?
No, actually, I don't know why I wasn't. Give me 2 seconds. Scrolls. Cool. Alright.
Okay.
What was it?
Magic Weapon,
Magic weapon.
Identifier's Eye,
Alright.
Masterwork Transmutation, Mirror
Ready?
Image, Evaluator's Lens, Fireball,
And
Slow.
alrighty. Let's see how that looks.
That comes up.
Okay, so it's transmute. Oh, hold on, that doesn't look right. Okay, there it is. Magic weapon, Identifier's Eye.
It's like on the 6th of April. Why are they firing off fireworks?
Haven't you heard of April 6th is not a myth?
Wait, what?
What is this timing?
Yeah, April's S.
I'm mystified.
In fact, I've been kind of hearing something here and there as well outside, if that makes you feel better.
I go look at these scrolls and go, these aren't cheap. How much here? Hold on. How much do these all come out total to?
Let's see, how many is that? That's
Let's see. One level 1.
one says 25 gold.
Identifiers. Masterwork Transmutation. Mirror image, that's 3.
It's 450.
Mirror image, Evaluator's Lens. Fireball and Slow, those are 3. Oops. So
That's 375. Times.
I have the I have the thing somewhere.
5 times 3 plus 475. What's a total of about 1,600 gold.
1600, you say?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Michael's done. Immediately pull out into her pot, go onto her handy haversack, and pull up. Very quickly start pulling out the proper funds.
Yep,
Okay.
that'll go at. In the interest of promoting your growth, and also because you're a fellow member of the Society Quadratica, we are nothing if not nepotistic.
I'm. Sure. Actually, I'm not a member. That's Vark.
Oh. I like you. She then says, I would say I'll knock that down to 1,200. But I noticed here in your notes, you've got one that you have highlighted here. But I don't think it's within the realms of what you're able to achieve just yet. It's essential for making homunculi. Looking for a method of getting arcane eye, correct?
Yes.
A little bit outside your reach at the moment.
Yeah.
Probably not going to be able to comprehend the writing just yet. But when eventually you do, you don't have to go shopping around with somebody else who's probably going to rip you off. Throw in another 100 gold, a total of 1,700. And then she pulls out. I always keep a scroll of arcane eye on me. She pulls that out of her bag of holding. I always keep a scroll of this on me in case I need to scout somewhere. On her elbows on the desk, leaning over it and holding the scroll in one hand like a firework, like a quick Christmas cracker. She basically extends it over the table to you.
Thank you very much. Here. She'll hand over all the proper funds.
I'll handle material costs as well as just the time I spent scribing those, which is all I really need. Hopefully, you get what you're looking for, and whatever it is that caused this little parade of weird shit going on in your life, I hope they suffer.
I really appreciate that. We'll see what happens.
Wizards are nothing if not some of the pettiest people I have ever met. And that works in and against our favor. I already see a lot of potential in you. And I mean that in every way possible. Pettiness included. Just be careful out there.
I have my hands full. I
Good
have my hands full with my group. I don't have much time to do my own things, so
Give it time. I think eventually they'll be willing to make time to help you.
we'll see. We'll see.
Worst case scenario, become a chronomancer. Make your own time.
Not much. You'll actually let out a decently sized laugh. Thank you. I needed that.
You're very welcome.
As small as it was.
You look like you could use a break. We've got some good bathhouses here in the city if you want to give those a go.
Might have to at this rate.
There's even some that aren't affiliated with organized crime. Usually be able to spot them pretty easily.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you very much for your time, and remember to check when you get the chance. Check out that book, "Talking with Spoons."
I'll have to.
It's
I need to reaffirm whether or not that's a figment of my imagination that I conjured up in delirious haze after processing something like several thousand people passing through this building.
Or if you enjoy talking
Unfortunately.
with spoons, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, my new book, Speaking with Spoons,
Uh,
now on shelves.
Now available on Amazon.
lordy.
Uh,
Unfortunately, you find that book is as real as I am. So,
benefit of being a wizard, you can only really test your just suspension of disbelief on reality so much. Go on, enjoy the festival. Hope you find your grandma and your dad.
yeah, I do too.
But hey,
With that, so
coming from the an expert divination wizard, nobody puts up a non-detection protection if they're, guarding something that's not worth guarding. Nobody puts up a ward against divination without a purpose.
yeah, I gotta find out why.
I guess. Said your dad was a blacksmith, right?
Yes.
Pretty good one.
Yeah, I'd say he was very good, very well known from around our area.
Well, people around there knew how good he was, and that was his name traveled. And he even had ties with the society and with what do you call it, with Lydia. He was well respected enough for her to be willing to consistently do business with him. She did not tolerate a lot of people. He was not very sociable.
At this point, Jack will take the tea kettle off her hip and go, and just show her the symbol as well. Do you know the symbol by chance?
Symbol, no.
Eh.
I assume that has to do with your dad.
Yep. Here's Mark.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not much of a metalwork aficionado. I'm much more focused on studying arcane arts. Still, if I had to guess, and he was famous in the area, well, blacksmith isn't very good if he's dead, right? Alternatively, though, that brings up a potentially just as, depending on how you see it, a potentially just as dark scenario. The question becomes, why would they hide him away somewhere? Or you can't track him with divination magic and want him still alive?
Oh no.
Let's hope nothing like is going to happen, or else.
I can't say too much, because at this point it would just be conjecture. But it sounds like your father was a very capable and a very useful individual. People in power like to keep people like that under their thumb.
Let's just hope that nothing bad happened to him, and only if rumors have circulated. Only I've heard rumors, and hopefully all the things I have heard is rumors, because I don't know what will happen Anyways, thank you for your time.
There's a moment where there's a look of genuine concern in Devin. Be careful.
I cover my face with a very fake smile.
The worried crease in her brow deepens.
Give a little bow, and I'll walk off.
Her concerned look follows you as you stride away. Takes a bit before.
Were we all there?
You
Were we all there to witness that?
You were off to the side.
Yes.
You see Deminova's obviously very concerned look. Maybe to Hollow it looks a bit different, or it might not be quite so obvious. But a conversation that fluctuated between business to amiable conversation to somewhat hushed talk of concern. And then the very worried look on Deminova's face as Chaiko exits.
I think that conversation went well.
Yes. I see you appreciate the laugh too, Ari. So yes, as you rejoin with the group. So
Yes, I do.
did she say a particularly funny joke?
Was that? I'm guessing Mitra asked that towards me.
Yeah, to Draco. Yeah.
Yes. The joke was, if I don't have enough time, I should become a chronomancer.
Yeah, that is funny.
It is.
I don't get it.
Chronomancy is about time.
But that's not funny.
It's about time.
It's about time.
Why do I get wizard humor more than you?
I'm not a wizard.
What the fuck are you?
I'm a witch.
No, you're not.
I'm Batman.
Wait. Oh, kind of dumbfounded. He's like, huh?
You're like
She looked to
you summoned
check.
like a water whip and you talk to animals. You're like a druid or something, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
No, he is indeed a witch.
She actually
You know that
genuinely
whistle?
looks stupefied for a moment.
You know that whistle I blew earlier, the one that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah?
That's a hexing tool.
He looks you up and then goes like, how many babies have you eaten?
I don't eat babies. That's a myth, or not really a myth. There's some witches do that. I'm not that type of witch.
She looks at you with apprehension and says, sure.
You can ask the Cappy. And I'm just gonna hold up Lolo.
Lolo, still not able to speak in common. Just chitters.
She can make head gestures. she can make head gestures.
Makes head gestures. And then
Squish that, Cappy.
Lolo, squish that Cappy. Lolo
To face.
looks down at what do you call it? At Paka, who is currently standing on the floor. Looks up at Mitra. And there's a glint of mischief in Lolo's eyes as she shakes her head.
Lolo's Comey eyes again, looking at the fucking Cappy. Just you son of a bitch. You're not helping my situation.
It's in a low, chittery capybara language. Save us. Comes out like comes out like a rodent chitter. But doesn't actually. Nobody besides Holo Holo actually understands it. And Mitra, for her part, backs off a step and hugs herself with all 6 arms.
I don't eat people. I swear. If I did,
Children
my
aren't
patron
people
would.
to you, you monster.
No, if I did that, my patron would eat me.
Does your patron think you're a baby?
Holo Holo's gonna look down at the Cappy. That's like a genuine.
Then Lolo, for once now, actually like fully serious, is like, I mean, kind of. You're basically like you're basically a zygote to her, dude.
I don't like that. I don't like that analogy.
Like,
Um,
you know how old she is? You're like a blip on the. You're like a blip in existence to her.
A blip on the radar, yeah.
Just don't exist. But yeah. So
Shush.
you're-
You know what I mean.
like a blip in her life. You're basically gone there and gone. So like,
Hmm.
kind of.
according to Lolo, yes.
God, that's so messed up. I guess you really are a witch.
Yeah, but at least they don't eat babies.
Say that.
Do you expect me to eat babies?
Rather you not.
Do you want me to eat babies?
No.
Just a look.
I cast Jolt on Hollow Hollow.
Have you
And
ate babies?
Mitra.
Yeah, it's like, have you eaten babies? Will you eat babies?
No.
When will you eat babies?
Sounds like something no, sounds like something a baby eater would say.
I cast a Jolt on both of them. I'm not
Yeah.
joking.
Rubs
Holo
rubs the spot where the jolt was.
Holo Holo's hair poops up.
Not you two.
I've never had this hairstyle before.
Some
Anyways,
of Mitra's hair is
enough
standing
with
on end.
enough with the baby eating. Mitra, he hasn't eaten a baby ever since we've been with him. I can attest to that. Kvark can attest to that.
Since I've
You
been
can ask
with you.
anyone in the group.
We can keep it under control. Don't mind traveling.
How can I prove to you that I don't eat babies?
They're not eating babies.
Hold on. Mitra,
What?
I'm sorry to do this. But do you really want that other topic to come back to conversation?
If you want to know what I
don't
actually
know
do, I
what
can
you're
tell you.
talking about.
If you don't know, then drop the baby eating talk, please. It's not real. He doesn't do that.
I do make poisons, though.
Hello, Grim. Yes, it was one time. Continues eating breakfast burrito full of eggs. Who would eat baby? Bird egg.
Beard
Oh.
boiled.
Beer battered
This is a-
babies.
Mitra seems- Gosh.
Damn.
Oh.
Oh,
So Mitra hold between like a legitimate
Whoops.
concern and being blackmailed with her slip up earlier. So it's like,
I do make poison, though. Is that concerning to you?
do you-
Yes.
The moment where she's about to say, "Do you use it on babies?" Then she looks at Chaiko and goes like, "Okay, yeah, it's fine."
I wish
Mitra,
you
if
said that. I wish you said. God damn it! Now it's in my head.
Do you season
You
babies
don't-
with poison?
I need to get my test subjects from somewhere. Anyway,
Oh!
Oh no! Oh no!
I appreciate that.
Chaiko
Ari is
quickly
taking Mitra.
turns. Excuse you?
I didn't. I haven't.
Excuse
tested out-
me, bitch.
I haven't tested out anything on anyone. I usually wait till someone tries to murder us to do that.
So like, trial by fire.
I've been called morally.
That works.
I've been called morally dubious.
I've been called ambidextrous before. I don't know.
You can use
all
milk
your
hair.
hands.
No, I mean the dubious bit.
Well, you... Oh.
Wait, what did she say?
we both we both fell for it.
Wait,
We
what?
both. No, she doesn't know what dubious means. She knows what ambidextrous means.
Oh,
We both got tripped
You
up
fool.
on that.
yeah. Yeah.
We both.
It's the verbal equivalent of breaking somebody's ankles.
Honestly.
Juked. Just looks at you both like with genuine curiosity. And also just a hint of obliviousness. High wisdom, low intelligence.
I see.
Could this be one of Karya's people?
No.
God damn it. Too intelligent.
Ah.
No,
What's funny is he actually has good
he
intelligence.
does.
Yeah, which is actually very
For
funny.
the most part, he's very selective about how he exercises it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very selective.
Hmm.
Sometimes it was. Anyways,
Yes, orphans.
Me-
Alternatively,
me
also
consuming
funds.
children aside.
You're making this really hard. You're making this really hard, Hollow Hollow.
What? You just gave me an idea on how to scare people away from me.
Is that something to be proud of?
She'll turn to Mitra. You
What,
can hit
it
him
makes-
once per day if you can hit him once per day if you truly want to.
I don't agree
if
with
it gets
that.
too close to me with that hexy stuff, I might have to.
I don't. Why would I use
No,
a
it's-
hex?
Forget I ever questioned it. You're definitely a witch.
Maybe I should ask Mom about baby eating.
Did your mom not explain that to you to begin with?
Oh, my mom's my patron.
What?
It's a long story.
I bet.
Clap, clap. All right, children. I think it's time for us to go home.
Yeah. Apparently,
Yes, ma'am.
apparently I'm in the kitchen. Or. Yeah, it's a long story.
She looks you up and down and goes, "I didn't want to assume."
But I'm not a big fan of the blood and gore and all that stuff.
Small mercies, okay. Oh, so you're not up with that? For a second, I thought you were talking like the Blood Mother that they go crazy about over there.
No.
Okay. I thought I was traveling with a blood worshipper. And that's where you got your witch stuff from. I really didn't want to assume. You know what? I'll settle for that.
Do you know who Charlotte is?
Oh?
Okay. It's just a deep sea lady.
Her eyes go wide and she goes, "You what?"
What? The deep sea.
Your mom is the
Okay.
terror of the deep? You what? The thing
Oh.
that lives inside the... the thing that lives inside the Thrashing Coast? That's deep sea lady?
I think so.
Mother of sea monsters? Source
Oh,
of storms?
yeah, that's her. Yeah, that's her.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No wonder you're so
Yeah.
messed up.
Well, that's just rude.
Pop sound. Come on, children. It's time for us to please leave the premise before we make more of a scene.
There are a lot of people staring right now, including Deminova.
Val's
break-
reading a book.
Yeah, that one part too.
She'll break.
Bark-
Jack will
bark-
break character
bark
and
is-
look towards.
Bark is in the husband chair.
No.
Jack will break character, look at the Nova, and go and pretty much do a C emote, like point towards them.
Do you see what I'm dealing with?
Yeah.
Just there's a
Anyway,
look
she's
of
not bad as
on Deminova's face. There's a look of just her face sagging, and she just visibly grows older. You just watching this.
You know the meme
There's
where
a
it's
look-
like,
This time,
It's just
the
a,
doomer
a,
meme.
a small.
yeah, exactly. It's just for meme, and that's what I was
It's
about to
just
say.
a shake, a small, low shake of her head, and a look of sympathy from her.
Jack will this time not ask and start gently pushing both of them this time from the back.
I don't think that because my mom's a monster makes me a monster, man.
Push.
You find very little resistance from Mitra. And she
Yeah.
just marches, like frog marches out the front door.
Yeah, hole
Come
will
on.
fall.
Come on, Vark. It's time to go.
Well,
It's
would
one
you
of-
rather?
It's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite parts about having NPCs able to bounce off of the party when they are able to act like, despite even their own strange circumstances, act like normal people reacting to strange things.
I don't think I'm strange or.
Oh, you guys are adventurers.
Don't worry.
My condolences. I hear they sell an ointment for that. Sure, that ointment makes you go night night forever.
Ugh, man.
Yes, you escort the two specimens, the 2 children, out the front door of the institute. Now, buoyed with some new information and possibly a new source of headaches about the potential direction in which you might find New Cerna. The last people saw was on the island of Tricus. Last time anybody went there, nothing bad happened.
Nope, nothing ever bad happened there.
I remember a few things that happened on Tricus.
Nope. No, Tricus is right there. What do you mean?
Tricus is
Yeah,
right there.
what do you mean?
Tricus is still there, right there in the ocean.
But Rami, we have Tricus at home.
Nothing happened on Tricus Square.
There
are
is no war on
calamities,
Tricus.
There are no calamities on Tricus Island.
Tricus,
Yes,
is Vark
Is
with
the-
us?
Mark's with you.
There is no conflict in
He's been
Tricus.
following, yes.
Mark's doing that thing where he's got like his nose buried in a book, but his eyes big, like just above the rim, so he can always like look up momentarily as he
Yep.
parses his way through the
Yeah,
crowd.
he's peeking over top of the book, like going back and forth like he's a dog.
And then he
Yep.
does that while weaving through the crowd, following you guys.
It's like when you're driving and someone's showing you something and you're like occasionally like peeking over.
Yeah, just whip your head over for a
Yes.
moment.
At some point during the way back, pop once more. God, I hate doing that.
Does it hurt?
What?
Does it hurt?
Does what hurt?
I mean, you changed from being
Your
like
turtle.
human to foxwoman. I can't imagine that's comfortable. You just said you don't like doing it.
It's not the transformation I don't like doing. Transformation doesn't hurt me at all.
Oh, okay.
Shodan go. Shodan go. You do know what I am, right?
Do you believe me if I said yes?
No.
I don't know what you are.
Pop once more.
We don't,
She'll do a.
yeah, we don't really have.
She'll do
foxes.
a.
What are these? Where I come from?
She'll do a little like a huzzah. Very. Huzzah.
Jazz hands.
Yeah,
Jazzy
jazz.
Gang.
That's the words. That's the words. I'm a kitsune. This is what I look like. This is what I normally look like. This is what I am.
She tries out the word.
We have the.
She tries out the word in her mouth and on her tongue for a moment. Goes kitsune. Kitsune.
Yep. That's what I am. That's me. All kitsune are able to do this. Pop.
It's actually really cool.
For some reason, I can even do this. She starts to, then goes. Wait till the card do that one.
Also, do all of them have a bunch of tails?
She'll go, huh? She'll go,
When you were a fox lady.
pop.
Yeah, like that.
Huh. No, they shouldn't. Huh.
I want to get this checked out. I hear randomly growing new appendages is not good for you.
She'll look towards Vark and, Hollow. How long have those been there?
What?
These extra tails.
Can the Holo roll anything? Because this is my first time hearing about the extra tails.
How many is it at this point?
It's
Three?
kind of. I'm actually checking right now. I think it is 3 or 4. Fifth,
Like 90%
seventh,
sure
ninth.
she's been
Yeah,
having it for
it's
a while
3.
now, hasn't she?
It's 3. It's 3.
Yeah.
What was the question mark?
I'm not 90% sure you've been
Actually-
having. You had them for a while now, didn't you?
Yes.
Actually, yes. So I have. Sorry, I have 1. I'm not level 7 yet. That's right. I have 2 tails. I have 2 tails.
In which case,
Has-
Walk. In which case, Walk will say, "You had them for a while now."
Huh.
I'm surprised, but
Yay,
wanna go
more
on for a while
mysteries.
before somebody says something. They would just kind of assume
Yay,
it's normal.
more mysteries.
Cool.
We can just grow more tails.
Apparently.
Wait, what was the question?
People can just grow more tails.
What I know, I definitely shouldn't be able to. She's looking. Is she actually looking behind at her tails?
Very soft. I mean, they look very soft. I mean, they look nice.
They are very soft.
She'll turn. She'll turn towards Hello. What?
Wait, actually, what did I say? I just kind of my mind just kind
You
of
said,
like
like
said
they are very soft, matter of factly.
Oh. Fair.
Mind boom in the distance.
very, very soft.
You're very
This
distant,
implies that at some
muffled
time,
mind boom.
this implies at some point, Holo, without Chaiko realizing or noticing, managed to cop a feel of her tails.
Run that by me again.
Would you
Oh.
like?
What? What?
Do you want to stand
Holo,
by that
Holo.
statement, Holo, or would you like to retcon it?
No, just hold. Let's just say what? Very soft. I'm just assuming.
Got my eye on you. Pop.
What? Who holds up his capybara? I'm assuming they feel like this.
No, I'm a little offended. I'm a little offended that you compared my.
Now, Chaka went from being concerned to being offended. It's like, how dare you compare?
Just like Mitra's like, I could compare.
Well, are you furry?
No, I have a lot of hands, and I could compare my petting.
Pop.
I'm going to give the whole exchange a long side eye, but say nothing.
Mitra is
I'm
totally
still
not just looking
curious
for an
too.
excuse to stroke the furry animals.
I
You
will
get one. I'm curious as well.
There's a
get
there's
smacked
there's
once.
a quiet squee under her breath as one shaky hand goes out to run her fingers across Lolo's head. Kind of slick. Little feels like it's oily, but it's actually dry. Huh. That makes me think of like it's very like it's like thick and bristly, but it's soft. And then her right hand gently delves into the fluff of Chaiko's tail. And there's an electric tingle that runs up Chaiko's spine and then literally up Mitra's arm. The static electricity zips up her body and down through her feet. She goes, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa. And then, whoa.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Don't tell me she.
It like runs her fingers through the tail. Back again. It's really soft.
And pop.
Oh,
Not doing that again.
oh.
Soft.
I don't know how to properly convey this, but it felt like you were touching my spine. That's very uncomfortable.
Oh. Okay. And then she does that like, so yeah, she's got really thin and bushy, and it felt like downy feathers, and capybaras were, well, we're familiar with them from back home, and they're they're soft and they're not fluffy in the same way, but they are soft and well, they're very cuddly.
Just called you subpar. Get her.
Glare of animosity from Lolo.
Shots have been fired.
Mitra, for her part, goes quiet. She's thoroughly cowed by the looks of disapproval.
I have a feeling we just inherited a spider child.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Surely nothing will come. Surely she's just a spiral child and nothing more.
Absolutely nothing more. Best thing is, nobody has ever found out her last name.
What's your last name? Joking, I won't do that.
Looks to the fourth
Immediately
wall.
feeling-
What's your name?
Feeling of like immediate omen. It's like, we never asked her last name. Out of nowhere, with no rhyme or reason. It's like, what's your last name?
What's your last name, child?
Yes.
Ocean
What is- what is-
Settlements.
What is your current mailing address?
What is your P.O. box?
What's your PO box?
What's your zip code?
What's your social?
What's your
What's
cell? Good old AOL Messenger.
But what's her mother's maiden name?
This is very important information for the group, might I add.
Oh yeah, her name was Medjed.
Her maiden name was, huh?
For the actual last name for Mitra. Not exactly intending keeping it a secret. It's not necessarily going to always come up in a conversation later. As much as I like her, she is a side character. Her last name is Anansi.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it.
Hey.
Nancy?
Yes.
The spider boy. The
Yes.
funny trickster lad.
Spider-Man.
Yes.
I don't get it.
He's
it's
very prominent.
Yeah, it's a very prominent African trickster deity.
Hmm.
It's a spider. He weaves stories.
He weaves
Funny.
misery is what he weaves.
No, he is a beautiful creature. You won't be mean to him.
As you guys separate from the Institute and head back to the inn, as it is starting to get late.
How late we talk?
If the party gets back, if everyone gets back to the inn room, they'll see. I'm assuming that this is okay. That they'll see Vair just kind of looking out the window at some birds,
Mhm.
and Karya asleep and snoring heavily and drooling on one of the beds, and then Siren braiding his hair and putting flowers in it, so he stays all
I like this.
prettied up when he wakes up and hopefully won't realize and will stay like that the whole day as a little harmless prank.
I like this image. I like this a lot.
I like to imagine Karya currently looks like a 17th century like judge, white wig and all. That's what.
Pearl and powdered.
Very
Powdered wig.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you guys head back to the inn, Mitra is going to separate off. Says my place I'm staying is a little further that way. When are you guys planning on heading off?
What inn are you staying at right now currently?
Give some simple directions. It's just it's a block, 2.5 blocks away from where you're currently staying.
If you have nothing else to do, in the morning I'll come fetch you and bring you back over here.
Okay.
And right up until so you know when we go, because I don't know when we're gonna leave.
I mean, I've got nothing to do here, and I'd rather not travel alone if I can help it. It's just not safe.
Thinks back to our cart. We have space. Looks at Hollow Hollow.
That's all right.
Shoot.
I mean, I do have my own horse at the very least.
He wants
I don't wanna
friends.
Not that I think my horse could pull your cart. Because wow.
Everyone got mad at me when I originally bought that. Since I'm not good with money.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I mean, did you intend to buy a cart that big?
Yes.
Guess you got what your money was worth.
Exactly. They don't understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, 6-arm shrug of, I mean, I barely understand money myself. I really just kind of,
Finally, someone that gets it.
I mostly just live off the land when I can. I don't really try to bother too much. I'm mostly just here in the city because I had stuff to do. My room is paid for a few more days, and yeah. It was a favor from somebody, I think. Yeah, it was from somebody I helped while I was here. So, put me up for a while, and promised to handle the money for me. Yeah.
If an issue arises, you can find us up top where the inn is.
Okay.
That sounds a little sketchy, but
Not at all.
if something happens and just for whatever reason, here's our inn over yonder. Something does happen, just come meet us over here.
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, I really don't want to impose on you guys, but thank you.
You've helped us. That's the least that we can do.
Yeah,
Be kind to others, and others will be kind to you.
That's never happened to us. That's a joke.
He gives a little sage nod and says, "Yeah, you know, yeah, you're right. All right, then see you guys whenever you decide to leave." And she will go off to
And then hold on because Drago's feeling just ever so slightly mischievous. She'll go. Oh, Mitra, before you go, she'll do the funny pop again, but turn into the actual fox, and then begin to walk off.
God damn it!
If you were to look around, you would see a Mitra frozen in place with one hand extended out, just kind of doing that thing where her hand just kind of stretches out a little bit, then she yanks it back, and stretches out again, then yanks it back, and bites her lower lip, and then turns around and goes back to her end.
At some point, she'll go back to normal, but...
Hey,
Chago said that she was going to show her when she got back to the cart. Never made it to the cart, so whoops.
History says they were good friends.
Yeah, they were roommates.
Fuck you.
Turning into a fox in public. Yes. So she has.
Surely this won't cause any issues in the future.
Never
Surely.
have consequences.
Surely.
In the game. What are you talking about?
Surely you aren't playing into my hand, Mr. DM.
It says I'm playing into anybody's hand. I am simply the world reacting to your actions.
No, I'm a druid. What can I say?
Yeah.
People ask, I'm a druid.
I mean, yeah, you're basically like a shaman or a druid or a ranger. Yeah, you're basically a ranger, right?
You're a what?
Yeah, just like
You're-
just like how Hollow Hollow is basically a shaman or a ranger as well.
Exactly.
I mean, you wild shape, you talks to animals, you basically are basically peas in a pod.
Exactly.
Does that mean we're friends?
No.
Damn.
You don't love the trees.
Damn.
You don't love the trees as much.
Damn,
as
should have
Champion
known.
Does that mean we're friends? No.
does. So, I think last one to concern ourselves with, and also possibly the last one to address before we wrap the session up. It's going to be a simple, shorter session today. What with the changes of schedules and the final readjustment of daylight saving times, long may it burn in hell. We're going to probably be shifting the schedule. possibly trying to start earlier, maybe just doing shorter sessions from now on. As starting on time has become increasingly more difficult. That aside, Mallory.
Hey, hello. Hey, what's
you've
up?
been sightseeing.
Yes, I have.
Excellent. Give me 3d20.
Oh boy.
Huh?
Mallory got kicked out of a bathhouse. That really didn't take very long. It's got the rest of the day to just bum around.
It's true.
Oh
3d20.
no. Oh, I'm talking about the 3d20. Just like it's like roll me 3d20. It's like, huh?
It's a 16, a 20, and a 15.
What does this mean?
I know, right?
What does this mean?
Uh,
Exactly? Hmm. Mhm. So, wandering through the city, you avail yourself of the many architectural marvels dot throughout the city plan. You find yourself going by the docks. In port, you see the many different types of ships that are anchored there. Even one of the rumored and much marveled dryad ships of the Titan's Arm elves. The towering wooden ships where the main mast is the trunk of a tree. The hull is root growth. The leaves are the sail. Of course, piloting at the helm is a dryad. Also in the port are ships from various other nations, bearing different blazons on the sails, denoting them of being from different countries. Many of which you recognize. There are flags of different merchant houses within the Quadranon, as well as individual merchant vessels from some of the countries from the Papacy. Of special importance would be countries like Caligo, Aporo, and Becca. Those all being key players in the big round-robin race that is life in Papacy. This being something of a military foundation within the Quadranon, as well as a strong point of trade. A lot of trade also tends to flow through here over land. It's rather than trying to circumvent the currently tumultuous waters around the duchies, Tricus, some nations decide to instead unload their cargo in Rosaino, have it transported overland to Lorbus, and then once more put on a ship before being shipped wherever. In particular, if they're trying to get things to places like the Titan's Arm, or the Sovereign Isle of Yucatan, or to Mordan, places north.
okay.
There's a lot of different types flowing through here. And that's the port for you. There's to say you might be able to get your hands on exotic anything, whether exotic information, as you probably have news from different countries flowing through here like water, or even exotic items or products or things that you of rarity that you would have a much better time finding them here than you would in the general market of the city. But then again, this place that harbors like that don't tend to have a regular stock. It's whatever you can find, wherever you can find somebody selling.
All right. Well, I'm going to start searching for both exotic news, like, happenings going around internationally, along with exotic goods.
So, the 20 and the 15. Which one do you want to use for which?
I want to use the 15 for the news, the 20 for the goods.
Okay. Ooh. 15 for news. We'll take that as your role for gathering information, listening in on conversations, inquiring with some people, trying to find useful information on rumors. Some of the stuff is the stuff that's immediately apparent. A lot of these crew folk, men and women alike, are seafaring, as before said, salt of the earth. And more than a few of them have taken their shore leave and their quick break here to check around the city themselves and to sightsee and to avail themselves of the very famous Rose District, which more than a few of them cannot shut the fuck up about. It's something of a tired stereotype and topic of conversation that anytime somebody goes to Rosina, if this is their first time, they have to visit the Rose District. They have to go there because it's the only major district of a city anywhere on the Papal continent where you can have an entire street dedicated to sex work. I was going to try and find a euphemism for it, but it seems entirely pointless at this point. Yeah. You can tell that the locals here are they're done with that. They're willing to go along with it for the sake of things like kind of like the city making money, and attracting trade, and gaining capital from like the sailors spending their money within the port. But even just from the small conversations where you see these tourists coming in and like immediately asking the nearest person where the Rose District is, you can see it's tired. It's especially since the people who live in the Rose District live in Rosano are a bit more aware of what exactly is going on there. Speaking of which, rumors of escalating violent crime within the Rose District are making the rounds. Strangely enough, no murders yet. Mysteriously few. Normally when something like this kicks up, suddenly a lot of people are being found bloody, beaten, and broken on doorsteps, left out in the middle of the road. Someone's sending an example, and they're doing it without killing anybody. It seems very deliberate as to send a message of, we won't kill you if you mess with us, but we may do something to you that's even worse. There's rumors that if this carries on, either it may escalate, or whatever smaller gangs are in the area may end up vacating out of fear. Most of them stick to things like racketeering, protection money, petty crime, theft, like that. Not really in it for the all-out fisticuffs and shankings.
Pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm. In the meantime, also, there's rumors that a few of the sailors who stopped in have decided to stay longer. And some of them have even found alternate employment. Stuff that's more beneficial than hauling boxes or helping operate a boat. So there's some people here who are deciding to stay for the long haul, at least for a time. And this is, at the very least, a little annoying to some of the sea captains, as unless their ship is overcrewed, having people just kind of duck out mid-voyage, it's more than a little angering. And those are the humors you overhear.
It was the last part.
Oh, that a few sailors have decided to stay within Rabido, at the very least, for a relatively longer time than just shore leave. And some of the captains are just a little bit angry that that mid-journey, some of the crewmates are just dropping out and saying they found other employment within the city. So yeah, that's your rumors. The exotic items. So, docked within the port, being freshly resupplied, you see a ship that you recognize. Two, actually. And they're parked side by side one another. One you recognize from previously seeing it. The other you recognize from stories. The first you recognize as being a fairly big ship with the hull decorated in glittering metal and a sheet of what has to be magically maintained ice. And if it requires a reminder, this is the same ship that belongs to that pirate lord that laughed at you, specifically at Karia, we should remind. That is now currently difficult to mistake and is currently parked in the wharf and is seemingly resupplying and unloading more than a few items, which are being brought to the bazaar that sits right by the port. That's where all the oddities and fresh fish and everything are sold. Seems like they're looking to unload and sell their loot.
Okay.
The other ship, like I said, you recognize it through stories and the heraldry on it. And I would say you also recognize it. This might ring a bell out of character. And the ship is braced and bracketed in bands of steel. The wood on it is dark. The sails are blazing pure white. The golden brazier hangs from the maidenhead at the front of the ship, burning with golden fire. And standing, as if purely for the sake of being a show-off, 1 foot planted on the bow of the ship, so up in a resplendent example of domineering aura, with a big beaming face, a face full of golden fire, is the dreaded excommunicated ASMR pirate Brightbeard.
Oh fuck, he's back.
He's back.
Oh
He's
fuck.
back.
Interesting.
Oh fuck. Okay.
The
oh,
boys
no.
are back in town.
He's admiring the wharf with a look not unlike a shark looking at a school of minnows.
This session has been a fucking what's the word?
And the
Roller
raven.
coaster.
No, not a roller coaster. It's a fuck. What's the term? A blast from the past.
Hmm.
Because Trichus gets mentioned.
And then
Because Trichus
and then-
gets.
and then Brightbeard.
Oh, look, the guy we ended the first campaign on.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Brightbeard, now that we're in a different timeline, you remember him as being something of an older cousin, at least in terms of the very circular family tree that is the the dukes and duchies and that whole web. The closest thing he would be was something like a cousin once removed, but he is decades your senior. He was known for being eccentric, even by Spawn standards. Stories were that he was fiery and passionate to an extreme degree, and he had his own vision for what a good, pure, happy world looked like. Unfortunately, that vision usually included the exclusion or the destruction of certain groups of people. But ultimately, ranked lower in terms of priority to the elevation and the exaltation of the Asimar folk, who were, especially in the Caspon theocracy, worshipped like divinity. So, when his ideals were found to be incongruent with the faith there, seen as either being too extreme or too obtuse to fit in, he used a grand portion of his family's family's legacy fund, the massive wealth that they had accumulated over generations, a large ship constructed, one of the sturdiest and one of the most devastating ships on the sea to this day, on which he would then champion his beliefs and his worldview. He would then go on to lead a one-man privateering crusade where he would ransack ships, scuttle some, steal others for salvage or to sell at ports, and then just mostly for spend a lot of time robbing any ship that goes through the Southern Sea blind. He's also known for wrapping back around and occasionally spinning around the waters in around Korok and Haven. And he currently has one of the few ships that can reliably and without issue navigate the strait between that leads up from the south up towards Haven, being this little strait of water. It's known for being rather tumultuous and is the reason why Woe Tide exists. Because normally any ship that passes through there has a very good chance of being wrecked on the rocks to the east. So yes, that little winding history lesson to say you recognize Brightbeard by the stories and by the massive burning smile on his face. Congratulations, the 20 brought Brightbeard back. This does, however, mean that because both that Pirate Lord and Brightbeard are in port, that means they are selling their loot. And because I wasn't quite ready with a loot table just yet, I'm not going to make one up. Why? One, because I'm tired, and two, because I would just be sitting here in silence for a little bit. While I do that, I'm instead going to call the session here. Next session, I'll be back on the loot table, and we'll see if Mallory can afford anything on there.
I'm frightened.
Oh boy.
Last time
He's
Brightbeard showed up, that campaign stopped.
What was the likelihood? What was the likelihood that we were gonna die in that encounter? By the way, I never get like that Brightbeard encounter.
Unironically, if I couldn't think of a reason for him to not want to kill you guys, because you guys did escalate a little bit, but also, Brightbeard really only wanted Mallory during that little altercation, and wouldn't take no for an answer because he's insane. Not insignificant. Then again, if you guys had managed to talk him out of it somehow, which you could have, you absolutely still could have, you could have gotten away fairly unscathed. I will say Karya's idea of trying to take the powder barrels from under the deck and then hurl them at the enemy ship and blow them up probably would not have ended very well.
I figured.
Yeah.
That was like
I figured.
So, thankfully, you are not currently in a deadlock ship battle with Brightbeard's. Oh yeah, and that reminds me of one aspect of the ship. His ship has these massive barbed, what look to be like spears jutting from the sides of it. And from your position up on a hill in the town, coming down to the port, and being able to see down into the deck, you see that there are massive chains at the ends, like tied with links to the ship itself. His infamous ship harpoons, which are meant to fire forward, lodge into an enemy ship, and then draw them closer for boarding. Which was something he did to you guys last campaign.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
I was doing my damnedest to try and free us from the grapples,
I'm not
but it
gonna-
wasn't working.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend like I had that entire campaign, like that entire encounter, like fully planned out in my head, because I didn't. I have learned quite a lot from that, and also since that. So, I will say, with a great deal of shame, but also I think a little bit of wisdom gained from it. Probably never gonna have that happen again. Because as much as I believe then and I believe now that not everything in the world is going to be at your level, I think I've demonstrated that in far better ways since then. And having him on the random encounter table was just asking for a narrative black hole to form.
Didn't we come across sky whales or something during that? I can't remember.
Sky whales.
Sky wyverns.
Sky wyverns. Yeah, we came across wyvern. I'm thinking. I want my Astrocetus. God damn it.
Oh, I think that was like, yeah, there were wyverns attacking ships, and I believe they were attacking your ship and like a dwarf ship. No, it might be misremembered, but I think it was like there was a dwarf ship that ended up interceding because it was like running from or running after some wyverns. It's been too long.
It's been a long time.
It's been a literal year since then.
The only thing that I remember
and we started
was
talking about. We actually started talking about it like 2 years ago, and then it ran a year ago. Yeah, it's been a fucking while.
Been a while.
I
I'm
remember-
very happy with how far I've come since then as a GM.
We're on session 42.
Yay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
me when the DM tosses Baby Trask and Ancient Red Dragons at us.
Oh yeah, we had a.
Yeah,
it was
like
the
I said,
ancient.
I was entirely a little too mentally wrapped up in the idea of.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Lich too.
Yeah, that was the first. That's when the first time you guys met Harry. You also met your first deep dragon, and you met your first actual dragon all on the same island. And then you teleported to Haven. It was 6 months later, and Dracos was gone.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
very poor storytelling on my part.
You know, it's okay. It's
We
okay.
all listen. We all grow. We all grow.
Yeah.
We
I
make
love-
mistakes makes us stronger.
I will
Much
say
happier
this.
with where I am now.
I will say this. It was really funny that you were like, you know, I'm gonna give them these two mundane things, and then I'll give them the dragon one. I hope they will pick the two mundane.
You guys were like, I did the typical rather than being in a tavern. I was like, you're in the heroes in this adventurers association branch, and it was like, yeah, they're offering jobs here. It's like it's Trichus. They're like in the middle of a civil war. happening up in the duchies. So they're not exactly offering boats out, but if you guys do some jobs, you maybe can earn some money, and eventually, through your exploration, find alternate ways off the island. Maybe a smuggler, maybe something else. So thrown in there was like, yeah, there's rumors of a dragon going about the countryside. Gold, the reward is 10,000 gold. It's like you guys immediately
Cha-ching.
went like, yeah, let's go for that. You guys are level 3. You guys are level 3.
You were all
It's a dragon.
I remember we jumped off a cliff.
Yeah,
We left.
that
Sorry.
whole thing when you guys went into its cavern, and you found out it was much bigger than the report said. And your first thought was, how are we going to deal with this dragon? And then, let's not deal with the dragon. Let's just walk into the cave, pick up a scale, come back, and try and like completely
Bullshit a response.
scam the
bullshit
adventurers.
excuse.
Yeah, you tried to
I got
scam-
some money out of it.
Yeah,
I remember the
you guys
claim.
You guys got a small amount of money, and then they said like, we're going to investigate this. And it turns out you've been lying. We will come back and we will take the money back. If you're not there, we will find you.
Yeah, we were gonna be fucked. How do you?
Which is why it was very fortuitous that Harry had his lawyer teleport you guys out.
Listen, it was all planned from the beginning, all right?
Totally
All
not
planned.
contrived. I did have Harry as a potential way off the island, as he is a powerful mage, and if you were nice to him, he would have done it regardless. Like, the whole dragon thing notwithstanding.
And then the bard Tarask, which was a pretty funny scene actually.
The
Just
barn
like, oh
Tarask,
shit.
yeah. The baby Tarask in the barn that was eating all the cows. I remember you guys talking to the cows. What a time.
Yeah. Then Corbin's artificer pulled out like a detect magic fucking
Yep.
metal detector,
That
and then
that thing puffed into smoke, or like they let
Yeah.
out a puff of smoke when it gave up the ghost. It got too close to the Tarask.
yeah, and then Kari was gonna like kind of challenging the Tarask.
Yeah, and then it squished it.
Yeah.
So that little walk down memory lane aside, thank you guys very much for playing today. It is always a pleasure.
Thank you for
We'll
running.
hopefully
Of course.
see you next Saturday. As
Ooh,
I think possibly you guys might be like working your way towards leaving the city.
5 sessions later.
We'll see. Next thing we know, you guys own property here and you're never leaving.
Yeah.
we set up like a fort here.
Ah, yes. But yeah, hopefully also we'll have free of us next time. Fate permitting. Until then, though, thank you guys very much for watching. Again, it is always a pleasure to have you all. Take care of yourselves, unshrimp yourselves, drink, straighten your backs, and yeah, take care of each other. It's a rough world out there. Good night, everybody.
Quick question.
If you must.
Those scrolls. When I put them into the spell book, do I have to pay the fee again to get the ink for that, or do?
I believe you have to pay that little fee to copy it in, yes, because that is the cost of writing it in using the specialized ink.
All right, send me the money at some point. Send me the formula for it. I'll get the money.
It's right there in that table.
Oh, that's stable for copying.
Yeah, that's the table for copying spells and
Oh,
book.
okay.
Very simple.
That one is actually. Bum 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 bum.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's 10 times spell level times itself, I think. What's that? Yeah, it's a 10 times spell level squared, I guess. So yeah, thank you guys very much. I think before I completely zone out, we're gonna go ahead and transfer out of the session and the stream. And take care.
Sounds good.